What is at stake for Jalen Hurts next season?
I want to say it, and I'm going to say it. I hate to be absolute in this world, but let me do it. Everything. Seriously, in perception. And I don't believe this one as well. These are two statements I don't even believe in, but I'm going to do it. Perception is reality. Now, in the NFL, I think so. And who seconds that? Kurt Warner. And it's interesting reading about Kurt Warner and him talking about his roller coaster of a career that obviously was still an amazing Hall of Fame career. Let's talk about the grocery store clerk who all of a sudden becomes the NFL MVP with the greatest offense ever in St. Louis with the Rams, but then finds himself as a starter in the New York Football Giants, but then the backup, then he has to redeem himself. Arizona, everybody knows the story, right? But he talked about something that highlighted how perception, how difficult, nearly impossible it is to reclaim your career once they deem you not good enough as a starter. That's what's at stake for Jalen Hurts right now, man. The perception of, is he really a starter? And let's be real. You can't trust Philadelphia, this organization, with anything. Ask Carson Wentz. Ask Doug Peterson. Woo! And Jalen, you're going to a situation where if it doesn't work out, your first-year head coach and Nick Sirianni is going to be like, I ain't draft him. Don't put that on me. And I can just see it all falling apart right now. So Jalen Hurts is in a situation where he better not mess around and mess up because it's going to be a mess. And the scapegoat of all of that will land on Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, that's real. Jalen Hurts, he has one shot. He got one shot in this year. Yeah. You played a quarter of the season last year. They gave you 4 starts. You went 1-3 as a starter. We all know you got yanked in that last start. We get that. So you get grace for that one. But we got to remember, man, like the Eagles moved on from $130 million, 11-2 during the Super Bowl year, Carson Wentz, after one bad season.
You got to go.
That's all it took. One bad season, and Eagles like, yeah, Carson, we know you've kind of led us to the playoffs 3 of the last 4 years. We know you helped us get to the playoffs, and eventually we won a Super Bowl, first Super Bowl in league history in a year where our starting left tackle was hurt, our starting running back got hurt, our starting middle linebacker got hurt. We get all that, Carson, but one bad year, you got to go. Jalen, if they going to move on from Carson Wentz like that, bruh, trust what they can and will do to you. But furthermore, quarterbacks that don't get drafted in the first round, recently, the notable ones, by year 2, they've cemented themselves as starters. Russell Wilson, remember, he gets drafted in the 3rd round, cements himself year 1. Andy Dalton cements himself. Dak Prescott cemented himself. He didn't give the job back to Tony Romo. He never relinquished that. Derek Carr cemented himself. Going back to Colin Kaepernick, cemented himself. Even Nick Foles, because I was there. He took the job from Mike Vick. We ended up, we started 3-5. We ended up going 9-7, go 10-6, go to the playoffs. Even Foles cemented himself. So Jalen Hurts, you were the 5th quarterback selected in the draft. Reminding everyone, Lamar Jackson was the 5th quarterback selected in his draft. By year 2, it's time for you to convince the world of what you are capable of. So as I see it, he got one shot to do the thing, and if he doesn't get it done, they will move on. Well, let's bring in a 2-time Super Bowl champion, former Eagle, my guy, Torrey Smith.
Yeah.
So, Torrey, you tell us, what's at stake for Jalen Hurts next season?
I agree with you guys. It's everything. You know, at the quarterback position, especially in Philadelphia with the new coaching staff, everything is on the line. You have to bring your A game. You know, and it's not really fair to him because typically when you draft a young quarterback, you want to groom him and he has time. That's just not the reality of it in Philadelphia right now. So the best case scenario, and I agree with Peter King, is for Jalen to go out there and do his thing. He showed flashes last year that he can be the guy. We know his leadership ability even before he stepped into the NFL. You know what he's capable of. I'm a huge fan of his game. I think he is the right guy for the job, but the pressure that are on his shoulders are huge. And to me, considering that he played at Alabama, he went to Oklahoma, he did the same there, the pressure isn't something that you have to deal with him. But Philadelphia is in a situation right now, I don't want to say where they're rebuilding, but they're certainly retooling, and he's going to be in a position where he's going to have to help elevate and lift this young team, and I'm expecting him to have a big year, but it's really kind of all or nothing because if he doesn't, it's very easy for the new coaches to have to say, hey, this wasn't our guy.
Facts. Oh, man. Y'all taking me places right now. Y'all taking me to my childhood when I grew up. Listen to that Ice Cube, that poet. I love you some Ice. Woo, Ice Cube, I love you, bro. You helped raise me, man. He had a rule. Rule number 2, don't trust nobody. Now, I'm older now. That's incomplete. Don't trust nobody and nothing because this circumstance in Philadelphia is set up for him to be the scapegoat and to fail if he doesn't go out there and ball out, which is a tough task. Jameis Winston comes to mind. And Jameis Winston had a good career in Tampa Bay in terms of his production. Certainly there last year. 5,000 yards passing for that is not easy. We all know about the 30 interceptions as well. But Jameis Winston, forget sticks and straws. We were talking about the three little pigs. How about Section 8? That's what Jameis Winston found himself as a former number 1 overall pick. Basically have to go to a situation and be the third stringer. Jameis Winston. What you think they're going to do to a second round of Jalen Hurts that they ain't even draft? They just going to cast him away. They're going to be like, that's on him, not on us. I could bring up a lot of names. Forget who they are. Forget where they're drafted, big and small. Remember Jeff Garcia with the Browns, 2004? He gone. One and done. In and out. Culpepper, the Dolphins, 06. Remember he was doing this? He didn't do that long. Gone. Get him up out of here. Joey Harrington. Yeah, well, you should have been gone. Aaron Brooks, Brett Favre. Gotta go. Get out the Jets. Sam Bradford, Case Keenum, Joe Flacco, 2019 Broncos. Who even remembers that? The point is, Jalen Hurts, there are people greater than you that have had worse fate than you in terms of if you don't produce, they're going to get you out of there. And that's a sad situation, but it's reality.
I think the other thing is, Sal, in the Eagles' mind, and Torrey, you know this, you play for the Eagles, I play for the Eagles. I think they believe they're giving Jalen Hurts everything he needs to succeed. They're like, look, we got Carson Wentz up out of here. We got your quarterback coach you know from growing up in Pee Wee and middle school football. We brought in a backup quarterback that's not going to challenge you as a starter in Joe Flacco. He's just going to sit back there and chill, but he's won a Super Bowl. We're going to get you help in the draft at that number 12 overall pick. Probably going to draft your receiver. We got a first-round receiver for you from last year. You still got 2 top-flight tight ends, even though Zach Ertz might end up being moved or shipped off somewhere. So in the Eagles' mindset, they're like, wait a second. Jalen Hurts, we've given you everything and put you in a position to succeed. If you still don't succeed, you just can't succeed. And I think that's the other reason why everything's at stake. Because the Eagles are going to be looking like, look, we can't set you up no better. We've set you up. Go fly. And if you don't, it's time for you to get up out of here.
I mean, Howie picked them in the second round. So I think that does show that they have faith in his ability and his talent. But we all know right now, to say that this team is ready to go and compete for the Super Bowl right now, offensively, that may be a little premature to say. So I don't know if they believe all the way, especially pre-draft, that this offense is where it needs to be. But it certainly could get there in the future. And for him, all he needs to do is show enough potential that he can be the guy to lead this team. And last year, he went out there and he made some big-time throws. And for a young guy, if he was in any other situation, if he was drafted higher, I think for that short sample size, you'll feel okay with some of the flashes that you saw going forward. So having an offseason, and I wish he had that physical offseason. However, we know that's not going to be the case. For him just simply being comfortable in year 2, going in, not necessarily looking over his shoulder, but Joe Flacco isn't going to sit back and chill. He's going to feel that pressure. It's going to be for him to go out there and perform. And I know the way he's been working this offseason, by seeing videos, by talking to some of the other receivers, and the way they feel about him, he's going to have a locker room that for sure has his back, which means a lot as you're heading forward, especially as a young guy.
Yeah, the Eagles' offense looked much better with him than it did Carson Wentz. Same offense, but it just looked different. Points per game went up, yardage per game, rushing yards per game, everything. So you got to give him respect. And he did some historical things in terms of being a rookie since the merger. He's number 3 all time in terms of combined yardage per game, only behind Deshaun Watson and Justin Herbert. Some beast as a rookie. So you got to respect everything about him. Number 2 offense in his 3 starts last year, 437 yards per game. Go ahead, Jalen Hurts. I'm rooting for you. But I'm not sure everybody in that building is.